What's up, guys? I'm Michael. This is The Theorem by Wismec. A little collaboration that JayBo and Matt over at Suck My Mod did. And, oh yeah. Welcome to the old age. Alright guys, so this is The Theorem by Wismec. Now this is designed by JayBo and inspired by Suck My Mod. We'll go ahead and get the box pouring out of the way. Clear plastic display case. We have a little bit of branding around the box. Designed by JayBo, inspired by Suck My Mod with their corresponding logos. We also have QR code and scratch authentication on the top section here, and on the back we have a contents card. Inside we'll have the theorem itself. We'll also get a lot of goodies in here. We get a replacement glass tank. We get a stainless steel version of the tank, and I have to point this out, guys. This is exactly how mine came. It has a glass insert in here, and this is what it came like. So I just have to point it out because it's my job to do this stuff. But there you can see the glue residue on the glass tank. Now, I had mine on pre-order for quite a long time, so this was more than likely one of the first ones that came out of the production models. So they could have already fixed this issue. I'm not really sure, but just something to note. Deeper down the rabbit hole, we get a spare notch coil, already wicked up with some Japanese cotton, and we get a parts kit. Now inside this parts kit we're going to have 4 spare grub screws and also 3 spare O-rings for the tank. We'll get a 1.25 millimeter Allen key and also our other airflow ring. Now this is the dual airflow ring. The single comes pre-installed, but just we'll set this aside and come back to that. Alright, and lastly we'll get to the theorem. Now the theorem is a 22 millimeter atomizer. It has a gold plated 510. Also has a little bit of branding down here at the bottom. It says Wismec. Designed by JayBo, inspired by Suck My Mod on the bottom. Has a nice protruding 510 connection on there that is adjustable. It's going to come pre-installed with notch coil and some wicking material in there, and we're almost ready to vape right out of the box. Now, first thing that you're going to want to do is go ahead and screw this addy onto a mod. You're going to have to trim down that cotton a little bit in order to start vaping on it. So, first thing we're going to do is pull off our top cap, and then pull off the glass section. Now the reason I say that you're going to have to put this onto a mod is those O-rings are extremely tight. Even with juice on them, still very tight. Really good design. Now we're going to have a 3-post design. You're going to have a split positive post, which I really do like. I don't have a whole lot that have this type of top post on here, but I really do like that large opening. You also have some nice large openings here on the negative posts, which are milled into the deck, and you don't have to worry about this top post spinning at all. It's a very good design. You have a nice little juice well on the inside here, just so that you're not going to have any leaking issues from around the O-rings. And we'll flip it around on the other side, and we have the notch coil. Okay guys, so I went ahead and pulled the spare notch coil that I had laying around. This was the first one that I used on the theorem. So this is on the vapor flask at 54.3 watts, and just watch that ramp up time is excellent. Nice even heating You can see that nice even heating all the way across the coil. And check out the inside diameter of this guy right here. Now I went ahead and pulled out my digital calipers, and we'll go ahead and zero them out. That is 4.6 millimeters. Try it again. So a little over 4 millimeters inside diameter for your wicking material, and then you have this nice large piece of real estate here for heating the liquid up. So that's going to improve the flavor right off the bat, guys. I thought I'd share that with you. I haven't seen anybody else do this yet, so I just thought I'd show you the heating on the coil. So let's get back to the video, which I'm going to just continue to use this original notch coil until it goes out. I want to see how long this notch coil lasts. So you're going to have a pre-installed cotton wick. It's going to be a lot of cotton, and you're going to have to trim that down. Now I've gotten mine pretty well where I like it to be at, and you're also going to want to fluff this out a little bit right here in the middle, just so juice can get around the post there, because you want juice to be able to flow around both sides of this cotton. So it's going to be wicking from the back side, and you definitely want to get wicking from the front. Now I'll go ahead and get some juice out here, and this is just something that I've been doing. You know, I've put several builds in here, but with these notch coils, what I like to do is I like to just go ahead and start getting these wicks wet. It makes it a lot easier to juice whenever we get the tank back on here. So I'll just wet them up with just a little bit, just to start soaking them in. There, just that much should be good. And now I'm going to go ahead and just move this cotton out around this post a little bit, and make sure that we tuck this cotton back into the juice well there. So I don't like having cotton stuck in the O-rings. We'll go ahead and slide this glass tank back on just like that, and you're going to want to make sure that the air has a way to get around these wicks, because that's how your juice is going to be able to fill into this hole here. You're going to have a way for air to escape the tank itself. So what I will do on that is I'll take a little bit more juice, and I'll just drop it just to get these top of the wicks wet. I'm going to take my Allen key, and we're going to want to push this wicking material around a little bit. Now the way that I found best is just right here, go right next to the coil, just poke it down in there and start just pushing your cotton around. Now you're doing this to let air escape. You're letting the air escape from the inside of the tank. So whenever you go to fill this, the air is going to push out around this cotton wick. It makes it a lot easier to fill up. Now if you have any problems with that later, whenever you maybe have three or four tank fills or something like that, and it's just not filling quite as fast, that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to have to take this back out and just make sure that your air hole opens up again, because this wick will start to expand with the juice and it'll move around. Now I don't really like that much wick on the back side here, so I'm just going to move this around a little bit, just like that, and get it pushed down to the bottom. and that should be good. So we're going to take our dropper, and you can use a needle tip to do this as well, but I found just putting a dropper there works for me pretty well. Most of the needle tips won't reach down in there, and you can see we just fill it right up. And as long as you have good space around those wicks there, it's gonna fill very, very easily. If it's not filling easily, then just repeat that step again. Move that cotton around a little bit more and try to get as much air space as you can around that wick. And it's kind of hard to do this around the camera, guys, so sorry if I get a little bit out of focus, but you get the idea. And we're just filling that tank section up, and that's pretty good. So we're gonna set this aside for now, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab my top cap here. So if you flip it over on the bottom, you'll see the airflow slot here, and you also have an airflow slot in this Delrin block, and that little plug right there is to plug up your juice hole so no juice gets flooded in to the top of the chamber. So to take this apart, we're just going to grab that Delrin block and start twisting this whole top section. And I'll leave the Delrin, or the drip tip, in just so whenever it's unscrewed it doesn't go flying off. That way I just pull it just like that. So from the top you have your two airflow holes. You'll also notice that Delrin block is held in by some Phillips head screws, which is really nice. I was expecting that to just be kind of a press fit in there, but it's not. It's actually screwed in. Now, like I said, we have our single airflow and our dual airflow control rings that come included. Now I'm going to keep it on single airflow because I've been using single airflow, and I'm really kind of digging the single airflow off of this. And you can maneuver the single airflow two different ways. Now first things first, you have a smooth side, and then you have this edge with a lip. You're going to want that lip to be facing up whenever you install this. So here you have two different ways you can select the airflow. You can either go top down from top of the cap to the coil, or you can switch it around and go this way, so you're hitting the coil from the side. Now I'm going to do top down because I've been doing it like this for the last day or so, and I'm really liking that top down airflow. So how I do it is I line up my airflow ring here. I'm going to just leave it wide open, or as close to wide open. Well, yeah, let's go wide open, and I'll hold it in place and then just start screwing the very top. I'm holding this ring and I'm screwing down this ring, and that way I can see what my airflow is doing. So if I get off center and it starts to close down, I can just go ahead and back it off just like that. And there we have it, nice and tight. So that's the way it should look whenever it's all together. You'll have, the gap in the middle, and then this standard gap in the top. This gap in the middle is where your air is actually going in at. So then we'll just pop this back on top here, just like so, and we are ready to vape. Now that this little shorty drip tip is actually very comfortable. I really do like this drip tip quite a bit. I thought I would be changing that out first thing just because of the size, but that thing is absolutely just like it should be. So we're going to go back up top and we'll vape on this and we'll talk about it some. I'll give you my thoughts on it and give you a little bit more hands-on advice. So let's go back up and we'll vape on this guy and see what she's like. Alright guys, so that was the theorem up close. If you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate you sticking around. So, the theorem, I knew whenever I got this in the mail that it was going to take a lot of my time. That in order to do a really thorough review and test on this, that I was going to have to make this my only priority as far as testing goes. So this is all I've been testing, is the theorem. Now I've tested some other mods, but theorem is the only thing that I've tested tank wise or dripper wise. It's just the theorem. The videos that you've been seeing are preloads that I've had in waiting since I started the channel up. So top down, you've got really good airflow in here, a great build deck. That airflow though, gosh, you got two different air control rings, plus that gives you 3 different options as far as air control, and then you can really fine tune that control to find your right vape. The build deck, you've got a deck that you can actually build on in here. When does that happen anymore, man? I throw some good builds in here. Of course, the notch coil, which I'm back to now, dual verticals, Clapton, and just some messy builds that I would throw in an RDA, all work perfect in here. And I will give you this tip, this one really good tip: build your coils big. Build them big so that way you have the maximum amount of cotton in here so that you don't get leaking issues. I think, because I have read some forums that people say that it leaks and whatnot. Could be a reason. If you're not wicking this properly, you're going to have some leaking issues. I would be sure of that. But I haven't had any leaks at all with this atomizer. And first night I got it, I filled it up and I laid it down and I went to bed. And whenever I woke up in the morning, there was a little bit of juice pulled up right here, but nothing to constitute a leak. I just turned it back up, left it there for a minute or two, and it all soaked back in and went back down. Now you can see this is a full tank. This is a full tank, and there's not going to be any leaking out of this, I'm sure of it. So, true story, 2 days ago I go to pick my daughter up from school. I forget and leave my juice at home, reach in my pocket to get my mod, and it's sitting like this. I'm like, no, it is going to be all up in here in the build deck, and I don't have any other juice or any way to clean it out, and my whole afternoon is going to be ruined because of this, because I've got nothing to vape on. Totally not the case, and I can sit here and hold it like this for the rest of the video, and it's not going to leak out. Now, you get a little bit of condensation up here, and this could be something that people are saying is leaking too. You get a little bit of condensation, a little condensated juice pulls up in here in the top cap, and sometimes that'll get in your mouth, but it's not leaking. I mean, that's just anything that we vape on kind of does that, right? But you can see there's no leaking. I've been rambling for a minute, but the flavor is excellent. The airflow is excellent. The vapor production, what is there? And that's single airflow, single airflow on 54.3 watts, and it's that good. I mean, if a Jenny and an RDA married, this would be its child. That's what would happen. And I've just got to say to Matt and JayBo real quick, thank you. You guys did a fantastic job with this collaboration. This is a good Addy, man. Really solid Addy. I love the fit and finish. And side note on the steel section, where it was supposed to come already attached to a piece of glass, I kind of like it like this, guys. Please just keep it like that, because it's not coming off at all, and I can't see through those slots right there to see my juice level, but I can just pull this up to kind of peek at it and then put it back down. I think it needs to just stay like that. That's just my opinion. So that's really all I've got. I don't have any negative thoughts on this, no cons. It works perfect. I love the form factor, so I'll sacrifice the amount of juice that I can carry in here just because, summer months and I want something small to fit in my shorts pocket, because I'm in and out, I stay outside, mostly during the summer, so I want something small. I'm not wearing a hoodie that I can hide my rouleau in with a 6 mil tank, so this is perfect. So that's all I've got, guys. If if I've missed anything, if you can think of anything, you got a little tip or tidbit about this Addy, put it in the comments below, man. I'm sure we all want to hear about it. So, yeah, I guess till next time. Remember, you are the All-Mage. And this theorem is done. Peace.